Well, Emmanuel, I am so excited to have you on the Collide Kids podcast.
Yes, hello. I'm excited to be here too. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. This is going to be so fun. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So my name is Emmanuel Jean Russell, and I was adopted when I was 5 from Haiti, and we moved to Washington State. And so after I grew up in Washington State for about like 10 years, and then my mom, who you may know as Karen Kingsbury,
Yes.
we decided to move to Nashville because her fan base was bigger here.
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, I grew up. So I went to high school for like about 3 years here and then went to Liberty University, and I was a film degree major. And so after film, I came back home to Nashville and I started working for her.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So it makes sense because we're going to talk about your book, and
Mm-hmm.
you're in a family that has a lot. I'm sure you're surrounded by books all the time
Oh,
with your
yes.
mom being Karen Kingsbury. Yeah. So this is going to be a really fun conversation. I'm excited to talk to you. But before we get into your story, because this is a show for kids, I always ask my guests to tell me a joke. So do you have a
All
joke
right.
for us today?
Yes, if you're ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Hutch.
Hutch who?
God bless you.
I
That is my
should
best.
I like that. I should have done a little more enthusiastic.
Yes.
Achoo.
Hutch you. That's my best joke.
I love it. I love it. That's so good. Well, let's talk about your story. You have a very interesting story that you shared really short. So we're going to go into all of that.
Oh, yes.
You're originally from Haiti.
Yes.
What can you tell me about Haiti? What was that like? Do you remember a lot about your home
Yes.
country?
So in Haiti, I call my memories in Haiti shadow memories because I can't fully remember them. But like if you're like on a beach, you can see the shadow and you know like kind of maybe if the person's tall or like if it's a female and male, but you can't see the details. And so my memories in Haiti are like shadows. And so I remember the warmth, I remember the storms, I remember my grandma, just like her walking with her. But again, I can't fully remember. But yes, I can remember the beauty and also the trash, and I can remember the ocean. I can remember the colors. And so, yes, mangoes, the fruits, coconuts, bananas. And yes, it was just me and my grandma. So I didn't really know anybody else.
That's an interesting way to describe it, those shadow memories. So you started out in Haiti and you
Uh-huh.
lived with your grandmother. And
Yes.
then what happened to that process for you to be adopted?
So my grandma, one night, it was probably a stormy night, I would have to guess. She woke up and had a dream that I would get adopted. And so for that dream to come true, she gave me up to an orphanage. And so about maybe 6 or 9 months passed until I got adopted from that orphanage. And so her dream came true. But what's sad is I never knew what actually happened to my grandma after she gave me up to the orphanage.
Hmm. That is sad. Yeah. So you have those memories of her, but nothing more to go back on.
No.
And so you were at this orphanage, and then a lady named Karen Kingsbury walked in the door, or how did that work?
Yes, well, yes, she found me. I guess I was on the internet and my picture was
Okay.
cute enough. It was a cute enough picture for them to choose me.
Okay. And so what was that like moving from Haiti to, you said Washington State? What was that like?
Yes. So I got to go on my first airplane, obviously, from Haiti and then we landed, I believe, in Florida. And then from Florida, we took a flight, like a whatever, 10, 12-hour flight to Portland, Oregon, actually, because, and then from Portland, Oregon, there's a bridge called the Columbia River Bridge. And we cross that and then you're in Washington State. And so we
Okay.
landed in Portland, Oregon. And I can remember it was a misty, obviously Northwest day, but when it was raining, it was actually not warm. It was colder. And so that was a little different. And we had to have rain jackets.
Mm-hmm.
So my adoptive parents had rain jackets for us. And so, but it was I just remember a little chill in the air.
Yeah, that had to be a big difference going
Hmm.
from Haiti, a tropical climate, to
Yes.
to
Oh, yes.
Northwest. Yeah.
Yes, it was. But I remember too flying in, you could see, I believe it was Mount Hood from the window, and that's in the book.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
also, yes, and also too having my first like soda drink. So like all that is in the book. Hello, my name is Emmanuel.
Yes. So tell us about why you wanted to take your adoption story and create a book for that.
Well, there are a lot of reasons, but one of the main was I wanted to, so like, as I said, I don't remember what happened to my grandma, but I believe by telling her story and giving her an image, because I don't actually even remember what she looked like, but by giving her an image in this picture book, that it would help the memories become more clear. And
Mm.
so, yes, it's just to honor her and also to help kids know, like in my story, that you are part of God's plan. And so, and to know what your name means. And many of you do know that Emmanuel means God with us. And so, yes.
Yes. Yeah, those are some of my favorite songs to sing at Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel.
Oh,
So I
yes.
love that you have that name. Now, was that name given to you by your family in Haiti?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
And so,
Wow.
because of that, it gives me hope that I will see them again because it's a religious name. And so,
Right.
I will maybe see my mom and my grandma again in heaven.
Absolutely. I believe that. That's amazing. How is that idea of God being with us? How does that shape your life?
What's cool about my name is it always reminds other people. That's what I think is the strongest thing is because people say, I love your name. You know what it means? And I always have to tell them, of course, I know what it means. But it just reminds all of us that, hey, God is with us no matter
Mhm.
what.
Right. He is. He's always with us.
Hmm.
And I think that's something that is easy to forget when we feel discouraged or
Yes.
when we're in a difficult situation and we just want to be reminded of that. So just hearing someone say, "Hi, Emmanuel," makes them
Hmm. Oh,
remember
yes.
that
It
there's,
always brings a smile.
yeah, God's presence is with us. That's amazing. So when you look back on your adoption journey, what do you think is the most important thing for kids to understand about adoption?
I think they need to know that it doesn't matter where you come from, that you need to know that God has a plan for you. So
Mm-hmm.
like knowing that there's a plan for you, it doesn't matter if you're adopted or not.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in today's world, I think kids and even adults, including me, we sometimes look for purpose in of this world. And so when you do that, you can feel empty. And so
Mm-hmm.
by having my story, that it can help kids and adults know that there is purpose in it and you can find it through him who is Jesus.
Absolutely. That's good. And I think there's a lot of people that are not really sure of how international adoption works. So maybe they know of people like in the foster system or people that are adopted here in the States, but hearing a story about an international adoption, what do you think the difference is in that and being adopted from another country?
Well, the difference is I don't like you come into a place where I didn't know English, so I knew broken English
Okay.
because Haiti the language is called Creole, and so it's a mix of like three languages actually.
Yeah.
And so it's got some English in it, but it's like the broken part. And then it's got Spanish and French. And so it was scary to like move and not know a language, but we learned it pretty quick because when I got adopted, we had to learn it fast to be able to go into school that coming year.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
So do you remember any Creole words or
I
phrases?
remember like fouet. I believe it's sweat. I can remember some, but
Uh-huh.
what's cool is the book actually on every page has a Creole word.
Oh, I love
So
that.
like you can learn some.
Okay. So what were the words that you struggled with? Because I feel like a lot of people that learn English, there's like lots of
Mhm.
things that like don't always make sense or are hard to understand. So do you remember it being difficult or was it pretty easy to pick up?
Yeah, so I remember it was pretty easy to pick up like just the main stuff, but like my English, like, or my spelling was always off, and it's always been off because I knew a different language.
Yeah.
So, like, those early years are really important to learn, and that helps you obviously when you get older. And so, I've always been a little slower, and I had to take extra English classes growing up, extra like intensive, but I never let that stop me. And so, I just kept because I'm a creative person, so I still just write, but it has it has slowed me down sometimes, just the spelling wise.
Yeah. I think there's lots of people that struggle with spelling, especially now
Hmm.
because there's autocorrect. So you don't even have
Yes.
to. It
Yes,
just fix it
exactly.
for you. That's great. And I think too, kids are so good about picking up languages like that. Like
Hmm.
they're so quick at just understanding.
Yes.
So that's awesome. What was that like going into a new family? Like just being like the new kid. Do you remember those feelings or what that was like to be a part of a brand new family?
It was amazing. We went to a zoo. I remember my first zoo trip, which actually I'm trying to write a little book about me going for my first zoo trip. And so we just went on tons of adventures, camping. We had Bible study nights, story nights, which I never got in Haiti. And so it was just all great.
That's good. And
Yes.
just being surrounded with lots of people,
New
especially.
siblings.
Yeah. How many siblings do you have?
I have five.
Oh,
One sister.
okay.
hmm
Wow. That's awesome. I love that. That's so cool. What was it like to write a book? Because I think there's lots of people that maybe they don't have the same story as you, but they have ideas, or maybe they're really good at writing or drawing and they want to write a book. What would you say to people that are thinking about writing a book?
Well, first is just write it because you have editors. Like, so that's the first thing. But it was to write a personal story. It was easy, but the what made my story easier is I could see kind of the images, and so I had the images in my head. I just had to put words to it to make it flow.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of a process, but because I could see the images, the words came pretty easy.
Okay. Was that hard for you to go back on that part of your life to think about those memories, or is it a good thing that you got it out?
The parts where with my grandma were hard, but like I added like an imaginary character named Chip. He's the chameleon. So because I knew I was writing this for kids, so I didn't want it to be just all like sad and like just down. And so Chip is kind of like he's like my little imaginary character that keeps it warm.
Okay, that's fun. I love that. And he was what he said he was a lizard, is that what he said?
Yes, he's a chameleon.
A
So,
chameleon. Okay.
yes,
Do
yep.
you
He's on
like
every.
lizards? Is that your
I do, but he's on every. I like chameleons because they can change colors.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's on every page.
Okay, that's fun. That's fun for the kids to look for, right?
Yes.
So I love that you've put this book together because I think it's so important for kids to understand what adoption is like and what people experience. And just like you said, for them to be reminded no matter where they are, what their family situation is, they still have a purpose. So I
Yeah.
love that you've done this. And also you've created this as almost as a resource for families who might be interested in adoption.
Exactly.
What would you say to families that might be interested in thinking about adoption or considering adopting a child from another country?
So my thing about that is you don't necessarily have to adopt, but there are ways you can help the orphanages. So my mom, who is again Karen Kingsbury, she has a One Chance Foundation where you can actually donate grants. They take grants and then they help families who are trying to adopt because not everybody's called to adopt, but you can always give to those companies that are helping people get the chance to adopt.
I love that. That's really important. What do you think is important for a family who's considering that? Like, is there something they need, or do they need to make sure they have everything set up a certain way? Like, what would you say to those families who are wondering if they would be the right choice to adopt?
Yes. Well, I think it's different for every family. And it is a scary thing to do because you're adding a whole new person. Like it will change, but I believe there's beauty in everything. And so if you are willing, if you're looking into it, ask other families who have done it, do research because you do have to be careful on sometimes where you adopt to. But I believe in the end, if God keeps calling you, then just take the chance and it's going to be worth it. Just like having a kid, it's going to be worth it in the end.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just like with any situation, like if God's telling you to do something, he's going to provide, he's going to give you the means to be able to do the things you're supposed to do.
Yes.
And that applies to anything, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. I was actually sharing this with someone today that sometimes we have to just tell God yes and then find out what the question is later.
Yes.
So if we
Wow.
just give God our surrender and we say, yes, Lord, whatever you're going to ask me, I'm going to say yes. Then that goes a long way. And well, like, just like you and your family, it benefits both, it benefits someone else and it'll benefit you if you say yes to God.
Exactly.
Well, Emmanuel, this has been so great talking with you about this book. Tell us about your book, where we can find it, and how we can pre-order it.
All right. So, Hello, My Name is Emmanuel is available on all platforms where they sell books, but you can pre-order on Amazon right now. But if you're like a part of a church and you want to do a bulk order, you can order it through the website, where my publisher's website, which is Tyndale.com, and you get 50% off every book you buy. So it's $11.99 on their website, but with 50%, it's just $6.
That's
So,
amazing.
yes, it's a great deal.
Yeah. And what a great way for your church to get together and
Oh,
pray
yes.
for adoptive parents and promote that. So I love
Mm-hmm.
that.
Exactly.
Very cool. Well, I am so excited for our listeners to get a hold of your book. And I hope that lots of people read this and learn about your story and learn about the journey of adoption, because I think it's so important. And like you said, every kid has a purpose. And so
Mm-hmm.
we need to be reminded of that. So thank you for sharing that with us today. Hey, before I let you go, I always ask my guests to tell me a memory from when they were a kid. So what memory do you want to share with us today?
Okay, well, it's a pretty funny memory, but I don't recommend kids doing this. So
Okay.
well, maybe I shouldn't share this. That it's a bee hunting story that goes wrong. I don't know
Oh,
if that's too much.
oh, let's hear it.
All right.
You've like teased it now. I got to hear it.
Yes. All right. So when I was little, my five siblings, not my sister didn't join us. It was the four brothers, and we would go bee hunting. So we only went and hunted bees that were like hornets, yellow jackets, never honeybees or bumblebees, because those are the good bees.
Those are the good bees. Right.
Yes. And so we hunted the bad bees. This one summer day, though, there was a jet black bee that was bigger than the normal bees. And that should have been a warning to just like leave it alone. But we scored it with our squirt guns, and it flew to our backyard, which we had like 5 acres. So, and it went into a hole. And at that point, we should have been like, let's just leave it alone. But we were 10 and 11. And so we went back and we loaded our squirt guns again with water, and we just squirted this hole. And one at a time started coming out that were wet, and we would smash them. And then it was like 3, then it was 10. And by the time it was 20, we realized we were all getting stung. And so we had to run back to our yard, back to our house. And our mom was like, why did you guys chase a bee into a hole? But so the whole point is leave things alone that go into a hole.
I think that's very wise.
Yes, but we got stung. But what we did find out that day is none of us were allergic to bees.
Thank the Lord. That's so
Yes.
good.
But yes,
Especially if that was your brother's favorite activity.
yes, but I don't recommend anybody doing that.
No. Thank you so much. Well, thank you,
Yes.
Emmanuel, for being here today. And thank you for sharing your story.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Looking for help and hope can be a chore, and you don't need any more of those. So consider downloading the River mobile app. It's a radio station committed to playing songs that will lift you up and help you out no matter what you're going through. Songs from artists like Lauren Daigle, Zach Williams, and Toby Mac. It's totally free with no subscriptions. Just search 1049 The River in your app store or listen online at riverradio.com.